Now, to explore the evolution of the annual Information Security Summit and its diverse facets, we present What's in AISS, a walkthrough of the summit, insights by esteemed leaders from our beloved security community, emphasizing on the key highlights. This is also our attempt to do a symbolic representation of a baton that would be passed on from one security leader to another every year, much like an Olympic torch, and would continue to inspire us with continual efforts to fortify the frontiers of cybersecurity with each passing year. To do the honors this year for the 2023 edition, we would like to invite Mr. Rajesh Thapar, Chief Information Security Officer, Axis Bank, to come onto the stage and take us all through What's in AISS 2023 and officially commence AISS Day 2. Please join me in welcoming him on stage. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Good morning. And my apologies, we had to. So, my apologies, I had to reschedule this session. It was to happen early morning, 9:15. But flight which I was taking in the morning had some medical emergency, because of which they had to probably attend to the patient and their co-passenger there. So this particular event, I have been part of AISS for almost a decade. And I have seen it evolve from strength to strength. It's one of the biggest events that I can think of in the cyber world for India. I mean, say maybe from the number of registrations that are there, number of participants with there, and more importantly, the variety of people that come in here. Many of the events today are happening for CISOs or for maybe the government bodies. This is one, and this event actually hosts the CISOs definitely, the practitioners. It brings in the sponsors, the vendors, the startup entities. It brings in aspirants, somebody who has to just work into it. It brings in government officials. I saw a lot of defense guys there this time. So all these stakeholders come in together with some objectives in mind. What is it that is there for them in AISS? Now, different people come with different objectives. Some people come from networking. I mean, definitely each of us definitely want to take that away, that I met some guys who have potential of probably helping me out someday, maybe understand the partner ecosystem, maybe understand the startups. So definitely networking is one of the key elements that comes with it. Some people come with an objective of best practices. How do I understand what I'm doing? Is it the best thing to do? Or is there somebody else who is doing something which will be coming as part of various panel discussions or various discussions that you have one-on-one, or you meet the booths wherein you understand what are the best practices or how the things are to be handled. You come with your problem statement and maybe your takeaway is taking a solution back. The latest technologies, what are the things that the industry is fixing? What are the things that the technologies are evolving? That's something which you get at one place. So different objectives. The last one which I feel is sometimes you don't even know the problem, but you feel that industry is targeting something, potentially there is a risk there. So definitely it's important that all of us analyze, figure out what is it that brings value to me and take that away. The theme which I believe typically for life, I see last 5 years agendas, I believe there are 3-4 themes that has always been kept in mind, and many of them are very pertinent from the participants' perspective as well as from the entire ecosystem perspective. So one of that is beyond boundaries. So beyond boundaries looks different for a different perspective. If I have to, and from a cyber world, we have always been calling it to be a borderless, or we call it beyond perimeters and all that stuff. So theme, if I say cloud has been a theme of AISS over the last 3-4 years. So there are a lot of things that are being discussed on securing cloud, availability of cloud, infrastructure, how resiliency is to be built in. So cloud as a theme has been there. Second area is work from home. And third, which I found this time that has been added in the agenda, and it's a new coined term which I find value, is collab ops. So we have always been talking SecOps. We knew the importance of people coming in together and doing things. That means collaborating. So there's a new coined term which I find a mention in this time's agenda is collab ops, which is very important in today's world. No single individual, no single entity can know everything. You may subscribe to your threat intel sources, maybe knowing what has gone wrong, but collaboratively what we can defend as a security organization, that's something which will stand apart. Second area which the theme has always been in AISS is it takes the threats which are relevant and it drives its path forward. Whether how to identify those threats, how to prevent those threats, how do you protect your ecosystem, how do you detect, respond. So the entire life cycle of that. So against the threats, against these threats, there is definitely some takeaway that would be there in the agenda. We'll come to the agenda, but I just want to leave these themes which typically have been there in AISS agendas. And for this year and earlier, so threat hunting is an important area where you will find the areas being discussed. You will come across malware analysis. There is, in fact, there is a sub-summit which is on forensics per se. So we'll come to the sub-summit, but that's one area. Third area which I believe is the theme of over last few years is hardware security, which also goes with Made in India scheme of things, which also is that beyond just taking those protocols, algorithms, softwares of the US or the West, we have our own proprietary stuff being worked on there. That's another line stream which is important and which is being picked up. Fourth area, which is the theme, and it's important for not only CISOs or cyber world, is the government angle to it, wherein the sector is exposed to, or rather the participants are exposed to what the geopolitics are, what are the elements where the government itself has to play a role. The policymakers are here, you get to hear them. So that's another theme wherein we have been hearing out and we keep improving our scheme of things there. So I just want to leave that there have been mechanisms of setting up, one, the core agenda wherein we keep discussing. The next slide, please. So if we just see that one is the core agenda of having workshops, this is all what I just covered as part of, if you see, those themes are pertinent and each of these themes is there. We have missed out 23. I'll tell you what are the themes of 23 and you can pick up your stream of, and each of that is relevant. Transaction security, which aligns with the digital crime ecosystem that's happening. So it's an important area of focus and I really want to compliment the team which actually created this. It's well thought through, and to be honest, being attached with DSCI's events for almost 10 years, this one I think stands apart from all, with all respect to all what was done for the previous events. This agenda is more comprehensive. It covers all the pertinent topics and touches every domain for cyber, except one which I probably can add maybe next time, or maybe we can add somewhere, is AI, chat, GPTs and all of the words. So I think that other than that, this actually is very practical. It's not only vendors, it doesn't speak only of what needs to be done. It even takes not only the practitioner, not only for the industry, because the audience that we have also includes academicians, researchers, the guys who are innovating, the guys who are entrepreneurs. So all that also has been thought through in this agenda. So I think and the formats are different. There are master classes which are there. There are one-on-one sessions there are town halls which are there. So we have between today, tomorrow, we have Mr. Behel, Dr. Behel coming in here. We have Mr. Narendranath, who will be actually taking a session. We also have General Nair tomorrow as part of the Excellence Awards. So make the most of it. This is, before I come to that, I just probably missed out one thing which I felt is very pertinent and people don't think. ESG. I mean, being in a bank, we always think ESG is environment, social, governance. All what needs to be done is how the organization will sustain. We never thought that ESG can also be related to security. I was really amazed seeing ESG as one of the elements put up here. Environment, social, governance. Governance does need security. A security breach today can bring down organizations. So I found the agenda to be very, very future-looking, well thought through, and I believe for each one of us, there will be a lot of takeaways that we will take out from this particular session. There are a lot of workshops, there are a lot of keynotes, I request and urge each one of you to participate, to be there, attend to the booths, figure out what is being done and take away, and probably a knowledge sharing, which is collab apps in an offline world. We can definitely connect on that. So that's all I had. Thank you so much for joining in, and maybe we'll connect over sometime. Thank you.